Hey there, Scott Purcell with Blackland Prairie Bees. We are going to inspect this hive. This is what I call my golden hive. And we're going to inspect them and probably take a frame. I'm going to give them some more frames and probably take some frames of brood and nurse bees so that we can do some queen rearing. So we'll see what we find and decide about removing the bees as we go along. Just give me a little space here. Set my smoker back there. I've also decided I need to start marking or recording what I'm doing beyond just the videos. And so I brought, at the end of the inspection, I'm going to write a few things, a few notes here on that blue painter's tape and stick it somewhere out of the way so that I'll be able to know for sure what I've done. Okay, they're crowded. They've already been building some comb on the divider board. I did not bring a bucket for comb this time, so I'll have to, before I go, I'll scrape that off. Don't really have, I'll put it in something back in the truck. Come on, girls, I'm trying not to crush any of you. Get off the bottom of the divider board. Alright, so we're going to set that there for now. Alright, now we start to see what we've got. So right now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 frames. I remember last time I was here I added at least a couple. We'll see how those are going. This one, frame 15. Oh boy, that is heavy. I need to get a little more of it sealed, and then we could be able to set that one aside for a harvest. It's possible that at least it would almost be certain, if I weren't going to be taking some of their population, some of their frames away, if I would just let this one alone, they would probably fill this entire hive, and I'd have to be harvesting some of the frames of honey just to make room for the queen to lay. Alright, frame 14. This frame needs a little remediation. I made the top bar slightly too wide. And I see... Nope, that's a drone. Not a queen. Oh, there's a queen cell. Okay, well actually that is delightful. I wouldn't mind having a queen from this colony, but it does mean that they're likely going to be swarming. I've been told that once you see a capped queen cell, no matter what you do, I've got some weak comb here, no matter what I do to stop the swarming inclination, they've probably already made up their mind. And so, frame 14, I'm going to mark that just so I don't forget it. That has a QC. I'll come back and probably take that with me. Maybe not, if they're gonna swarm. This might be a case where what I need to do is a Taranov Split, an artificial swarm, to let all the bees think that they have already swarmed. That's a good way to get another strong colony right away. This one has lots of food. as with the other one, it's not quite capped yet. This was brood, and they're backfilling it with nectar, hence their desire to swarm. They're running out of room. Here's some good brood. Some of that is still they're still backfilling any place there's not brood already laid. That was frame 10. So they're deep. Their brood nest is deep into this hive. More brood. Nice row of 3 inches of honey at the top. More brood. A little bit of cross combing. Brood and honey. Brood and honey. Here we get to the one I just gave them, goodness, about a week ago, maybe. Yeah, this couldn't have been very long, because it's my first experiment with using plastic comb in a laying's hive. And not only are they busy drawing it out, it's getting pretty full with honey. I think because they're filling that with honey, I put it in the inside the area of the brood nest because I wanted them to draw it out fast. And now that they've got a good start on drawing it out, and they're just storing resources there, I'm going to put it down here at the end. Alright, a little bit of brood, lots of nectar, a little bit of wonky comb, but we'll deal with that in due time. Yep, another part of the brood nest that's still being eagerly backfilled with nectar. This next one was another frame that I gave them last week. It's another plastic frame, or frame with plastic foundation, and they're drawing it out nicely. Looks like a little bit of brood on this one. So I'm going to leave that in this section of the hive. But when I put a blank frame, I'm going to put it between this one and a well-drawn adjacent frame. That was frame 3. This one is frame 2. Has been brood, but being heavily backfilled. It's no wonder they're eager to swarm. Then we'll look at this one on the end. One is all nectar. A little bit of pollen here and there, but it looks like they're consuming the pollen about, or feeding it to the babies about as soon as it gets packed in there. Okay, so now I'm going to put them back together. That one has mostly food. This one also mostly food, a little bit of brood. This one is a fairly evenly drawn comb. Actually, I may flip it around because the other side is more uniform than this. Yep, I'm going to flip that one around. And that gives us a nice, smooth frame of comb. And I can insert one of my blanks in between that one and this next one, which has the plastic frames. And hopefully they'll draw this out nice and straight. Alright, this one also has a nice straight surface. Not a whole lot of population on it. Got some good capped brood. If it had more population on it, I would be taking it to the hive box. Oh, that has a little more population, not as much as I'm going to need ultimately. It also doesn't have a lot of brood on it, so I'm going to go ahead and put it back in place. Alright, this is the one I'm going to take. So I'm going to take this to the truck. And there I have a hive waiting. It's going to be my cell starter colony, and probably my cell finisher too. this to the tailgate. See if I can one-handed flip this lid. We do have a few bees already in here. They would know they're hopelessly queenless. Hopefully, I've been told that if you leave them exposed to sunlight for a little bit, they won't fight. At least not as much. So before I merge these bees from different hives together, I'm going to let them sit here in the sunlight a little bit and go look at other comb. Starting to get sweat dripping off my eyebrows, off my nose. I'm sure my shirt is quite drenched. All right. Okay. Now, I see a little red timer on the phone. I wonder if that's warning me about battery life or disk space. Battery life looks good. I'll probably have to delete some beekeeping video files. This one has not much on it except food. This has some good emerging brood. Oh, there's another queen cell I'll have to remove. I'm not currently looking for the queen. Maybe I should be. But I'm going to take this one. I'm going to take this one and add it to that one, to the other hive in the same way. I'm not going to carry you with me to save on disk space. Okay, going to continue to go through this. I'm going to leave this one here because since I've already taken away one that had good brood, although now I almost wish I'd waited for this one, but it did have a good population. This one has brood that I think is on the verge of emerging, and so as those bees emerge, that will give the queen fresh places to lay. There's another queen cell. Okay, what to do now? If I can't stymie their urge to swarm, while they're boiling out over here, they may have decided, let's go now. Or maybe the queen was on one of those frames that I took and they're going to go find her. I don't know. Alright, so far I've added 2 more frames. I've taken 2 frames away. I'm just really undecided about whether to go for the Taranov Split or to continue with my plan to use to make a cell raiser. They're about to swarm though. I'd better do the Taranov Split. Yeah, I think that's the plan. Now, can I do it with what I've got here? That's what I'll need to check into. So I'll be right back. Okay. The idea behind a Taranov Split is to create an artificial swarm where the bees will think that they've already swarmed. So what I've got a nucleus box here with a couple of combs for bees to climb on. I've got a board, a ramp, and I've got a sheet. And what a Taranov Split involves is we take every frame here and shake it out there. The bees that are old enough to know to fly and to know their home, they'll fly right back to the entrance. They'll climb up the ramp and then they realize where they are and they fly back to the entrance. And they go back to the old colony that will soon have new queens. The queen and all of the young bees will stay clustered at the top of the ramp. So I'll shake the bees off. I'm going to go put them down here, and then ultimately we'll put them back in the hive. And then we'll just get the next frame. Any bees that aren't flyers, they're going to start walking up the ramp. Alright, this one has food, some brood, some nectar. I'm going to drop it in. I'm going to look at these first 2 that I placed in the swarm hive and make sure there are no queen cells there. This one, no queen cells either side. This one, some wonky comb, queen cup. Can't tell for sure if there's anything in it, so I'm going to tear it down. It was charged, at least. Yeah, I think there was a larva there. Okay. So checking the sides of the wonky comb. There's another cup. Clear it out. This frame should be good to get them as well. No queen cells or cuts there either. Okay. So now I've given them 3 frames. You can see they're moving up to the top. Eventually they're going to start lapping over. The bees that know where home is, they're now all bearded up here, trying to get back in the entrance. So these should all be young nurse bees. Now I can start reloading this hive and give these bees someplace to go. This has some larva on it, so I'm going to put it right near the entrance. More brood. Put it near the entrance. More brood. And a queen cell. We'll leave that one there because that's gonna, if we got the queen over there, that may be the new queen for this hive, so we don't want to kill her prematurely. She might be needed. We've got some wonky comb here, and what I need to do, tear out part of it and flatten out the rest of it. Tell the bees, hey, draw that straight next time. We've got one here that's almost exclusively honey. We're going to put it towards the back. This has more brood. these have a moderate to high number of brood. Put one more empty one, well, better intersperse a well-drawn frame next. And then an empty. Okay, now I'm going to let them rob this out before I take it away, partly because I don't have a bucket, but partly because it just gives them a chance to reclaim what they worked so hard to gather. So I just put this on the floor, and then the divider board. Now I'm going to try to smoke them off the rim so I can close the lid. Now it's just a waiting game. I think this is going to take some time, so I'm just going to leave them some time. I'm going to write my notes and then go on to the next hive and come back here later, maybe at dark. Okay, so today, June 1st, I think, or 2nd. There we go, June 1st. Okay, I'm writing that we did a Taranov split. Not sure if it's queen right. Added frames. Well, I believe that's going to be all I need to do, all I need to record for now. So on to the next location. All right, we're back at the site of the Taranov split, and it looks like it worked just as expected. After leaving them for a few hours, they've climbed up the ramp. They've moved into this hive. All but just a few. We can now move this away. You can see great coverage on the frames. I'm not in my bee gloves, I'm in work gloves because I'm hauling cinder blocks down here. So I don't want to mess with them too much. But they are set up there nicely. And I'm assuming that the population on the other frames is similar. Oh, fortunately, I left one more empty frame here on site. I was wondering what I was going to use to fill that space. So now we'll give them one more frame, and I might have one more in the truck that I can give them to fill that box out. Those bees will eventually make their way back into the original hive. Hopefully we've got the queen in this box, and they feel like they've had a split, they've got the room they need, and hopefully they will be happy now. So we'll see.